4th May 2024 at the nation's altar.
So I get this dream and I'm in this car, and then I hear a voice tell me, follow closely. I try to look around. I don't see the person saying, but I know I'm not here by accident. So I see these guys speaking in a certain language, and then there's a guy that's trying to strangle and kidnap, but in this car. So I'm in this car and I'm telling them, I have seen you. And so the driver on the other seat gets so angry and he wants to bat me with the butt of the gun. And he says, we know you are a prophet. That's what he says in a dream. So I tell him I have seen you, and I tell him this matter is going to be named a diplomatic dilemma in the region. Then I woke up. So when I wake up, I begin to pray about it. And I'm thinking, is it because I am doing diplomacy? And I try to put it together. And then I kept, there are visions that come and the Spirit will tell you, consider the matter. You remember with Daniel, they told him, consider the matter. It's a prophetic wisdom. Some of you, there are things that come and you can't even interpret the bidding of the Spirit that is saying, stay on this. You get it and throw it away. So after 2 days again, I go to sleep and the same thing happens. And this time, I'm trying to make this guy escape. And I'm telling these people, I'm going to engage Interpol. And as I'm arguing, in that dream, my wife comes, holds my hand and says, what you were meant to do here is over. We go. So I wake up.
In a shocking and brazen breach of international law, Uganda opposition leader KIZA Besigye was abducted in neighboring Kenya on November 16, 2024. This egregious act sent shockwaves throughout the global community, sparking widespread condemnation and demands for his immediate release.
The United Nations has expressed concern and urged due process after reports that a Ugandan opposition politician was abducted in Nairobi, Kenya, and subsequently arraigned at a military court in Kampala, Uganda. KIZA Besigye is the husband of senior UN official and current executive director of UNAIDS, Winnie Byanyima, who earlier took to social media urging the Ugandan government to release her husband.
Winnie Byanyima, the executive director and head of UNAIDS, says her husband, who is a Ugandan opposition leader, KIZA Besigye, had been arrested in Kenya and forcibly taken across the border to Uganda, where she believes he's being held in a military jail. Are you aware of these reports? Has she reached out to the UN? What's your reaction?
Yes, we're very much aware of these reports. In fact, I was on the phone with her not too long ago. We're extremely concerned about the situation concerning KIZA Besigye's disappearance and how it unfolded. It's imperative that due process be followed and that his family and that his lawyers be given news of his whereabouts and his condition.
That's right, Uganda's opposition leader, Dr. KIZA Besigye, who was later traced to a military jail in Uganda. Now, Besigye, a prominent opposition politician in Uganda, is reported to have been kidnapped in an apartment along Riverside Drive in Nairobi.
Honorable Koech, you sit at the National Defense and Foreign Relations Committee as the chair. Has Kenya become an abductor's playground?
As a renowned politician and former military officer, Besigye has been a vocal advocate for democratic reforms and human rights in Uganda. His appearance has only strengthened the resolve of his supporters who continue to demand justice and accountability. As stated by the man of God, that this matter was to be termed a diplomatic issue. The international community has been swift in its condemnation of Besigye's abduction. The United Nations has issued a strong statement calling for his immediate and unconditional release. The UN Secretary General also urged the government of Uganda and Kenya to cooperate fully in investigating this incident and ensuring Besigye's safe return, as stated in the prophecy.
This matter is going to be named a diplomatic dilemma in the region.
Between Kenya and a country in East Africa, the disappearance of prominent opposition leader KIZA Besigye, especially in a foreign country, Kenya, had significant implications, including breach of sovereignty, that is, violation of international law, and this could lead to strained diplomatic relations between Kenya and Uganda, as well as the countries that value human rights and rule of law. Besigye was later transported to Uganda under unclear circumstances and has since been charged with several offenses, including possession of an illegal firearm and plotting to destabilize Uganda. The prophecy came to pass exactly 7 months after it had been published. The Prophet's Diary on Donald Trump and America. Shortly after President Biden had been announced as president after the 2020 elections, the man of God took to Facebook and posted, "America, have you forgotten this? Don't be quick to celebrate Biden. He is forbidden." The link spoke of and highlighted Dewey defeats Truman. This was an erroneous banner headline of the front page of early editions of the Chicago Daily Tribune on November 3, 1948, the day after the incumbent U.S. President Harry S. Truman won an upset victory over his opponent, Governor Thomas E. Dewey of New York in the 1948 presidential elections. Prophet's Diary, also on 11th July 2021, Sunday, during the morning altar. On the matter of Joseph Mayanja and Donald Trump, prophecy number 2. There is work of evil they want to stop, to short circuit an agenda to seek to destroy the one that will be key in the future of the United States. This is Donald Trump. One of the most astonishing events that came out of this election was the debate between Joe Biden and Trump, and then out of the blue came the assassin's bullet, which came within a fraction of an inch of ending Donald Trump's life. The Prophet's Diary, Thursday, October 6, 2022 at 3:56. Matter, America. The rising of prophet kings in the United States of America. I saw grace lift a certain kind, for the Lord is establishing a new thing. Prophet kings. The White House again, but even better, well packed with the judgments of God. There is a new thing that God is deliberately coining for the land. New beginnings that continue the accepted old. The Democrats and America at large were not happy about President Biden's performance. This led him to step down, and Kamala Harris emerged as one of the nominees. Trump's journey to his second term as President of the United States has been marked by significant developments after losing the 2020 presidential election to Joe Biden. In 2024, Trump announced his candidacy for the presidency, and after a contentious primary season, emerged as the Republican nominee. On November 5th, Trump won the presidency, securing his second term as President of the United States. His victory marked a significant turning point in American politics, as he became the first president to return to office after being defeated in a previous election. Donald Trump won back the White House. More than 74 million Americans voted for the former president, making him the first Republican to win the popular vote in 20 years. As stated in the Prophet's Diary, from as early as 2020, President Trump is one of the prophet kings. It is also highlighted in the diary that new beginnings shall continue the accepted old. President Trump's second term win has been very controversial and has been tasking even on his life, as he was almost assassinated twice but was saved according to the word in the Prophet's Diary that was declared. This is Donald Trump, and the Spirit is saying, continue to pray for him. The enemy shall seek to weaken them and frustrate this agenda for the United States. Have I not said that through him I will do this great thing again? For in this time have I not caused the nation to sleep? They will awaken and realize their foolishness, even as I plan to do that which I do through this gentleman, says the Spirit of God. Congratulations to President Donald Trump on his historic re-election victory. This only speaks of one thing: God loves America and has visited it once again.